hard to make this out. Let's see. You can kind of see, like I start with the basic form and then go back into it with the detail. This is a tiny piece. And for some reason, I don't understand, but everybody responds to this one more than any of the rest of them. So. And that was just like, some of them are kind of figurative, some of them are kind of, I get a lot of interesting comments about what things are. And it's interesting because abstract painting, we all carry our own baggage when we look at art. And so I could look at something and go, wow, that looks like a penis. Or somebody else could go, wow, that looks like a car, you know, or whatever. Not that that's all I see in artworks, but I feel like when we look at art, you know, and you think about like John Berger, Ways of Seeing. Is that a book? Do you guys have to read that text? No, I recommend.
Find in some of the classes.
Yeah, it's a Ways of Seeing is a book that really kind of helps me when I was in college to kind of, how does one approach a piece of artwork, and how can you come to a piece of artwork with sort of an educated yet open mind. And so anyway, I have a lot of varied interpretations of what people think my work is. So this one, I called it Skull because after I made it upside down, I turned it over and somebody came into my studio, a collector, and he was like, that's a beautiful skull that you made. And I'm like, you're looking at it upside down. And then I turned it around and I was like, oh, it's a skull. So it's a skull. That's just a silly drawing. That's, yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Oops. Oh, I also, it's very interesting to me to the idea of bringing your artistic practice and expanding it slightly, not just making artwork, because I felt sort of cloistered in a way when I was just making art. You know, I live alone, I work alone, I have my studio assistants there, but you know, I have my friends that I see at night or whenever I wasn't in the studio, but it was a very kind of solitary practice in a lot of ways. And I felt when I began to make work, when I began to curate exhibitions, it really expanded my ways of seeing, my whole practice. And it's also, it's not like I need a party because I can go to parties whenever I want, but working alone can be very isolating, and so I've found that curating has really expanded how I look at art, and it's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot. And so I did this show called Dreamland, and I'm going to show you one of the videos after we're done with this thing. And it was really well received. We got a lot of great press. Ended up selling works to two of the biggest collectors in the United States and one to the Whitney Museum. And this is like my first solo curatorial endeavor, and I was very pleased by that. And I think that kind of gave me the confidence that I needed when the space came open. It was this sort of, I need a project. And I walked down the street. I was headed to meet my now business partner for lunch, and saw this little sign in this weird space. We're in a former motel. We're the rental office for the motel with the garage next door. Anyway, I saw this little sign that said, call Jason 213, the number. I called Jason and we started our gallery the next week. So it's been cool, and we're on our third exhibition. we're about to have a show called Screwball Asses, and it's curated by Hetty L. Coulty, who is the editor for Semiotext, which is a critical theory book, and it's a gay-themed show. With some amazing artists from all over the world. Our current show is Sigrid Sandström. She's a painter from Sweden. She won the Guggenheim Foundation Award and Joan Mitchell Foundation Award last year in 2008. And we have a whole bunch of video screenings planned for Europe this summer. It's been really interesting, that whole transition from practicing working artist to gallerist. But I feel like I have the sensitivity one should have from a gallerist standpoint, because I've been there when they didn't have the press release sent out a couple of weeks in advance, and I've been there when there was nobody doing PR, or there was nobody to help install the show or whatever. So I've also been there when the support was there from the gallery and the museums, and you had people to help you, and so I recognized the things that were good and bad, and tried to only bring the good stuff to the gallery. There are times when it takes me a week to get back to somebody, but because I'm too busy writing a press release and curating the video project here at the Sagamore and whatever, and writing. I also write art critical in LA, so I don't have a lot of free time. But
what's your relationship with some of the other gallerists in Miami? Since I know I've worked with Peter Fetterman years ago, and I worked with Jonathan Novak when he used to come here a lot, and I know some other people there. So I'm just curious as to what
in LA.
Yeah, in LA.
What is my relationship to the other gallerists?
Yeah, I mean, how do they perceive you, or what? Do you have a good relationship, or just?
Yeah, I mean, it's really great because, for instance, there's a gallery in Culver City that I love, and they've been around for a long time, very well respected. They show artists that I admire. Hernan is one of the artists that they show. And she came to me and she saw the video that we were screening in our garage, and wants to now work with the artist. So that's another thing that this economic turmoil has created, is that before galleries were just like, get off my dollar, and now it's about getting back to grassroots. She said to me, we're going to start doing shows that we really enjoy because things aren't really selling. So, and so she's looking to me because I guess we are new and we are doing the research and we're pounding the pavement and we're going and doing studio visits, and we know what's going on in Los Angeles. So that's been really great, and I think that right now galleries are starting to do more cross-pollination, and that to me is really important, because if it's only about the money, if you make artwork just to make a few dollars, you have to have something behind. There's nothing that's going to get you to your studio except for you. You have to be, even on days when you're just like, I gotta get this piece done, So I'm looking at Troy because he's in the middle of a piece and so gallantly drove me all the way from Miami Beach. So awesome. But yes,
Thank you.
And he's in the middle of a piece that he's trying to get done.
2 years.
He's been working on for 2 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, but it's a stunning piece, and I love it. But so I think that it's really important to just keep plugging away. And some days you're just gonna go. I had 8 months one time where I made one shitty painting after another. And in that, it brought me to a place where I feel like, I was able to, I grew a lot in that time. Totally hated myself during that time. I was like, why can't I make this work? So I have a bunch of paintings in the garbage, whatever. Okay.
So you want to do the
yeah,
video now?
Yeah. So
So-
thank you guys for coming today.
And I'm going to have to
Do
go
an
off
outro?
with my live broadcast here. I got to go
Okay.
back. Okay, let's see.
I'm just going to show you quickly a couple of videos, and then we got to get back to Miami. Troy's got a piece to do.